As 2018 draws to a close, Prime Minister Modi must be counting his losses. After an untrammeled run of 18 years, over which he did not lose even once to the Congress party, he was trounced in 3 states altogether. I'm reminded of 2000 when Modi's political guru, Prime Minister Atone Vajpayee, had logged in a similarly bad day at the office. Then Parliament was in turmoil, Kashmir was spiraling out of control, Pakistan was boorishly recalcitrant, and Ayodhya festering with calls for a forcible construction of the Ram temple. Yes, as you can see, the more things change, the more they remain the same in our timeless land. Vajpayee had retorted by penning his political musings from the Kumarakom resort in Kerala. I reckon the time is now equally ripe for Prime Minister Modi's musings. I think he should pitch his tent at Kurukshetra on the midnight of 31st December, exactly at ground zero where Lord Krishna gave Arjun his Updesh or sermon in the Mahabharata. Perhaps Prime Minister Modi will also get equally lucky, and Lord Krishna will deliver him the following 10 commandments from the new Bhagavad Gita circa 2019. First commandment: thou shalt pivot to moderate centrist politics. Vajpayee mused that realizing India's potential calls for a radical shift from contention to conciliation, from discord to concord, and from confrontation to consensus and cooperative action. Fortunately, Modi's BJP has broken that centrist consensus. Its instinct is Hindu majoritarian. It morphs highly sensitive issues from military strikes to the J&K insurgency into a triumphal, bullying nationalism. But in 2019, it must pivot back to Vajpayee's conciliation, concord, consensus, and cooperation. The second commandment: thou shalt concede that Pandit Nehru and Indira Gandhi are not in the fray. Modi's stormtroopers invent lies and half-truths to prove that all of India's failures can be traced to 4 decades of that family's rule. Yet when he speaks of India's greatness, whether in nuclear science, space, industry or agriculture, his chest-thumping actually celebrates initiatives started under that family. In any case, somebody needs to tell our Prime Minister that Pandit Nehru died in 1964 and Indira Gandhi in 1984. So hello, please get your opponents and battlefield right for 2019. The third commandment: thou shalt break silence on the Ram temple. Vajpayee had mused that his government will accept and is constitutionally bound to implement the judiciary's verdict, whatever it might be. But under Prime Minister Modi, there is a gathering threat of an ordinance to nullify any judicial verdict. Modi should abandon any such political legal misadventure. Fourth Amendment: thou shalt break silence on followers' violence. Prime Minister Modi must set up special investigative teams to bring the mob lynchers to a swift and visible justice. He must also unfollow hate mongers like, for example, at Amitesh Singh BJP or at Sami Warrior and several of their ilk on Twitter. Fifth Amendment: thou shalt allow fair discourse in the Republic now. Modi should immediately halt the proxy political campaigns that are run every evening via incredibly acerbic spokesmen on complicit news channels. Sixth commandment: thou shalt stop rewriting history with falsehoods. Prime Minister Modi's so-called intellectuals should now stop rewriting history. I think they need to concede that Maharana Pratap did not vanquished Akbar at Haldigati in the 16th century. Swami Vivekananda was never a Hindutva icon, and Sardar Patel was never a Sanghi or an RSS activist. Seventh commandment, thou shalt stop practicing voodoo economics. You know, there's no need for phantom disinvestments where one government entity buys another to give the illusion of a real sale, or spurious back series of GDP data. Prime Minister Modi should also stop dodging the jobs crisis by inventing pakoda employment numbers or using unrelated mudra and employee provident fund data. Modi should admit the grievous error in not fixing public sector banks at the peak of his political power in 2014-15. Eighth commandment, thou shalt quit giving lollipops to farmers. Prime Minister Modi should not mislead distressed farmers with lollipops of doubling income and higher minimum support prices. Instead, he should now craft a bold policy of one-time loan relief, but more importantly, followed by genuine agricultural reforms, including income transfers, rural infrastructure investments, contract farming, GM crops, and direct linkages with the food retail industry. He should smash the monopolistic mandi market structures that actually create huge rents for middlemen at the expense of farmers. Ninth commandment, thou shalt show genuine faith in free markets. In 2019, Prime Minister Modi should abolish price controls. The government should stop harassing taxpayers and angel investors. The government must enforce international awards, must respect the rights of foreign investors, must appoint non-IAS regulators, terribly important, non-IAS regulators, and heed the cries of small and medium enterprises which are really reeling under the twin onslaught of demonetization and GST. And now, the 10th commandment, thou shalt stop hatchet jobs by the agencies. After all these 10 commandments have been delivered to the Prime Minister by Lord Krishna, finally, Lord Krishna finishes his sermon thus: go and get a sense of humor, all you BJP rulers. A tiny smile, not that difficult. It goes a long way in disarming political opponents.